The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Tucson, Arizona, on your new apparatus, job number 31074. Please utilize this job number when referencing your new apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Starting down at the front bumper, on the right and left side, you have air horns. Moving just inward from that location, you have dual electronic sirens. Moving up onto the top of the bumper, there is an access door to access your front bumper load. Moving up onto the body, right and left side, there are turn indicators. Moving just in from that location, you'll find your headlights with the low beam on the outside and on the inner beam being your high beam. Located at the very top, your turn indicator arrow. Moving just inside from that, an emergency warning light. Moving up onto the top, just below the windshield, you'll find grab handles on the right and left-hand side. And moving directly above that, you'll find your seamless windshield, which houses 3 windshield wipers. Moving up to the top of the apparatus, on the brow, you'll find your running lights. Located just off over the driver's side, your opticom. Moving further on both sides, you have a split light bar. Let's now move up to the top of the ladder, talk about some of the components just on the tip area. Also located in the front, you have a forward-facing floodlight. Moving up to the top, you have your master stream device. Up further on to the actual ladder itself, this lever controls the ability to pin the waterway further back than at the tip. You also have on the right and left side forward-facing floodlights. And you also have an attachment point on your detachable front ladder. On the side, you'll see your speaker for communications, and slightly up from that, you'll find an additional forward-facing floodlight. Let's move down and talk about some of the components on the body. Once again, this is that cluster for your headlights, turn indicator, and warning light. On the side, you can see your marker light. Let's move down to the bumper. You'll find your air horn and electronic siren. Underneath the apparatus, you'll find open-ended tow hooks. You'll also find a drain location for your front bumper discharge. Moving back up onto the top, you'll find the access panel for the bumper load. You can see it's marked by front discharge. It is located in purple, which also coincides with the valve on the pump panel. Located inside is an 1.5 inch swivel. On the right and left side, you have side-mounted warning lights. Moving up onto the side of the apparatus, this is your 2-section mirror. The top section of the mirror being flat, the bottom section of the mirror being convex. Moving to the side of the apparatus, you have your auto charger, shore power, inlet, which is a 20 amp auto eject plug. You also have a side warning light. Moving up to the top of the cab, you'll find your water tank indicator and also a side facing flood. As we move into the cab of the vehicle at all entry points, you'll find caution and warning labels. Moving directly down to the side about the right foot area, you'll find a warning and caution label regarding diesel exhaust and the use of the owner's manual. And you'll also find the Pierce yellow placard indicating the VIN number, date of manufacturer, information is for fluids, and also tire information. Moving down once again to the floorboard area, you find your brake treadle and accelerator. Moving up to about the left knee when sitting in the seat, you'll find your quarter turn on-off switch, a tech module, and a diagnostic port.
You also have your ABS diagnostic, DPF regen, engine regen, and engine inhibit, and also a diagnostic display port. Moving further up, you'll find your road to pump and pump to road transmission, OK to pump indicator, and also the lever to engage the pump. Moving to the right-hand side of this, you'll find your aerial master, aerial PTO, the generator on-off switch, an aerial not bedded indicator, and also your stabilizer camera and load manager. Also on the right-hand side, you'll find your flat mirror for right and left control. Moving just up from this location, you're going to find your Allison transmission pad with an indicator on the yellow that says pump in drive. You'll also find your yellow system parking brake, pull to apply, push to release. Moving further up from that location, you'll find your engine brake, which is an on-off, the control for medium, low, and high for the engine brake, front wheel lock, your air horn, electronic siren, and also your perimeter lights. Moving up from that location, you'll find your Pierce Command Center. This is a variety of information with fluids, information, seatbelt, all at the touch of your finger. This is also located on the pump panel. Just to the right of that, you'll find your windshield wiper control. It is a push to release the fluid on your windshield wiper for wiper fluid, and then select by turning for low, medium, and high speed. Moving to the center console area, this is where you'll find your climate control. The gray area is for heat and defrost. The red area is for heat. Blue area is for AC. You'll also find some caution and warning labels, and also some informational for warning buzzer for stop, go, and backup. Generalized view here of the dash. This is the driver's location. Common indicator gauges and heads-up displays. Moving to the right-hand side, you'll find your OK high idle indicator light and also the switch to engage the high idle. Moving to the opposite side of the steering column, you'll find your emergency master. The small switch will control all emergency lights for on and off. You also have your headlights for on and off and park, and also to the right a panel dimmer or brighten switch. Moving further to the left-hand side, you'll find your ignition switch, start switch, and also a mirror heat switch. Let's go ahead and move overhead of the operator. Generalized view of this area overhead. We'll break down the components within this. Let's start first in the left-hand corner with this yellow placard from the manufacturer. Height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating. Your vehicle also has the job number at the very bottom, 31074. Moving further to the right, you'll find your emergency master, roof light, front warning, side warning, lower rear warning, and upper rear warning. Moving just to the right of this, once again over the operator's head, you'll find your high beam flash, your preemption, front flood, driver side scene, passenger side scene, and deck lights. To the right, you'll find your go light. This is the control with an on-off switch and the ability to control it with an indicator indicating that the light is in the on position. This is the spotlight mounted over the top of your vehicle. Also located just overhead, you'll find your PA and siren control. Moving just forward of that toward the center of the apparatus, you'll find this light. This is a red indicator light. Do not move your apparatus if lit. This is indicating that you have a door open or a compartment open or ajar. Let's go ahead and pull back and look a little further to the right-hand side. This is going to be your siren control and also PA once again. PA stands for Public Announcement System. Let's move just up from that location. This is where you'll find your traffic advisor, At the very top, you have an high, off, or low. You also have left, right, flash, and split. This is for the traffic advisor on the rear of the apparatus. Let's go ahead and move back now to the side. Once again, entry point, you have a warning label regarding caution and seatbelt information. You also have a handle, which is in red, for accessing inside and out of the cab for safety. Underneath this apparatus at all points of entry, you'll find perimeter lighting and also step lighting. As we move just inside the stepwell area, you'll find you have a portable flashlight and charger located here. Moving just above this area, you'll find an additional flashlight. Just up from this location is also the area for your fold-down seat. This is going to be looking from the back of the apparatus toward the front. This is a rear-facing SCBA seat, which indicates that it has an SCBA stored within the back of the seat. You'll also notice the red seat belts for high visibility for the operator. Just to the rear of the SCBA seat, between the operator seat and this SCBA seat, you'll find your 12-volt battery DC converter. Looking to the rear, you'll find your roll-up door in between the two pull-down seats. Inside, you'll find fixed adjustable seats with lights inside. Let's pull back out and look at the apparatus from the operator side. This is the pump panel. We'll talk a little bit about some components here. Let's start in the upper left with crosslay 1 and 2 and crosslay number 3. They're all color-coded, and they're all labeled to each one of the discharge valves. Let's go ahead and take a generalized view here for referencing where things are located, and we'll break down the components within your pump panel. Let's start in the upper left-hand corner of the pump panel first with a warning sticker regarding entanglement because of those hoses coming off of the apparatus. We'll move just inside that to the red areas. This is your foam level for foam A and foam B. Just to the right of that, this is going to be your internal relief valve. This is the pressure for that. And just beneath that, this is the adjustment for that internal relief valve. Moving to the right in the gray sectioned area, you'll find your master intake. Moving further to the right, you'll find your master discharge. Located in between the two, you'll find your test ports for vacuum and pressure. Moving down to the left, you'll find your Pierce placard here for maintenance for 150, 200, and 250. You'll find your electronic valve for the passenger side. Just beneath that, you'll find a warning label here regarding the use of your owner's manual for information. Also located across the entire area here, you'll find all of your discharges. These are all pull style valves. Moving to the right, you'll find a warning indicator here for not allowing you to increase the throttle unless it's lit. You'll also have your pump boss here regarding your throttle and pressure control. To the right-hand side, you'll find an audible alarm. We'll talk a little bit about some of these switches here in the next set of images when we have a close-up of that. And then you'll also find on the very far right your engine cooler. This is a turn, not a pull style. Just down from that is the tank fill and recirculating line. Further down from that, in the blue section here, you'll find your water level indicator, green, yellow, and red, and flashing red meaning empty. You'll also find your fire pump primer and also your reel rewind. This is the tank to pump. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is once again going to be that alarm. This is an audible alarm which is adjustable. In the upper right hand side, you'll find your panel lights, pump engaged, generator on off, driver side scene lights, and also your passenger side scene lights. The pump engaged is an indicator only. This is going to be that warning, do not open throttle unless this light is currently indicating, which will be green. Moving once again, close-ups here, warning for the entanglement. This is also your foam level for foam tanks A and also foam level tank B. Let's go ahead and take a look down lower on the pump panel. You'll find your air supply. This is a turn, your air outlet, which is a style chuck, and also the air inlet addition style chuck here for those locations. Moving down just from these areas, you're going to find your foam A and foam B. These are the fill locations for those and also the attachment points for those. And just to the very far right, you'll find your auxiliary inlet. This is the air bleed. As you can see, there are two steps that are fold down to gain access to the upper portion of your apparatus. Let's go ahead and move down. There are other components on the pump panel. I'd like you to refer to your owner's manual for more information. Just underneath the truck next to the pump panel area under this compartment, you'll find your stabilizer pad and stabilizer. Just at the very top, you'll find an additional light that's controlled from the front dash for your stabilizer location. Let's go ahead and take a look in some of these compartments here. Once again, roll-up style doors. They are all locking, keyed lock. Inside this compartment, you'll find adjustable shelf here at the very bottom. It's currently in a fixed position. As we look to the very base section on the left-hand side, you'll find your G1 breaker panel, which stands for generator. Moving up to the very top, you'll find an additional information regarding your AC volts regarding the generator. Let's move back toward the next compartment, long compartment near the rear tire. You can see roll-up door style and also a keyed lock. As we open this compartment door, you can see you have a variety of just boxes currently in here, but this is the adjustable shelving location for shelves in this area. Once again, close up here of that side-facing location spotting device for your side jacks. Just over that area also, you're going to find a side-facing warning light, floodlight. Moving further down on the actual stabilizers, you'll find additional information, warning light, and also danger and warning labels. Please familiarize yourself with those. Let's take a look at some of the items within the area near the wheel well. First, let's start in the very front. You'll find a side marker light. This is just next to where the stabilizer comes out. Up from that location, small compartment, you'll find your DEF location. This is a 4.5 US gallon tank. It has a blue cap. As we move further to the back section here, you'll also find you have a SCBA storage location for bottle storage. You also have a 120 VAC 20 amp outlet. And just to the rear of that location, you'll find a side warning light directly over the rear tire. Moving just slightly to the right of this location or to the rear, you'll find an additional storage location here for bottle storage. Just beneath this compartment, you'll find another access door. This is going to be your ultra low sulfur diesel fuel. It has a silver cap. Let's move back to the rear compartment here. Once again, roll-up style door and a locking door itself with key. As we open this door and reveal, you have a variety of adjustable shelves in this location. Also is the storage location, which they're currently not stored here, which are your wheel chocks. Also on the side of the apparatus is a pull-out or fold-down style ladder. In addition to that pull-out, fold-down style ladder, inside this area you'll also find the inclinometer for front to rear of your apparatus for leveling for using the aerial apparatus. Generalized view here of the rear of the apparatus. We'll break down some of the components within this area now. Let's start at the very top. You have a rear-facing floodlight. Moving just down from this location, you have a indication here, warning buzzer for your 1, 2, and 3, which is 1 stop, 2 go, and 3 back up. This is that buzzer location for that, for helping in backing of your apparatus. Let's go ahead and move just down from that. You'll find a switch just above the tail lights for your deck lights. Also located in the center area here, you'll find ladder storage behind this compartment. As we look through the ground ladders, you can see that you have some extension ladders in addition with roof ladders, and at the very top, long pole storage or pike poles. There's also an access door down at the lower section here, just above the emergency warning light. Let's take a look inside this compartment. This is your stabilizer controls. At the very top, you have a port for diagnostic and also emergency hydraulic override. Those are the controls for your stabilizers. Just to the right of that, you'll find a 120 VAC 20 amp outlet. At the very top, you'll see a reverse or backup camera. Just beneath that, you'll find your traffic advisor and then 3 marker lights. Here is your center logo here, also Class 1 ISO. Congratulations. Keyed roll-up compartment. Within that, you'll find a bottom section for a maximum weight of 500 pounds, 2 adjustable shelves in that location also. You're also going to find some warning labels in the very back. One is pressurized. If the cap is pressurized, there is a hazard associated with opening that. Be cautious. You'll also find storage location and tow hook information. This is going to be a warning and danger label regarding overriding of your apparatus. Those are the controls for that. You'll also find side-to-side indicator for leveling your apparatus and your aerial drain located behind this compartment. And as we move further to the right-hand side at the very top, you're going to find once again that rear-facing and also a warning light at the very top. Let's go ahead and move down from that location. Once again, you'll find that information here regarding the backup information for 1 for stop, 2 to go, and 3 for backup. This is the device push button for activating that information with inside the cab area. You're also going to find some additional ground ladders and additional information here regarding warning labels regarding riding or standing on the rear of the apparatus. As you can see here, you have your pike poles on the right-hand side and an additional extension ladder on the left. At the bottom of the tow hooks, you'll find an additional side pull or information regarding the use of those tow hooks. In this compartment, you're going to find your aerial stabilizers, once again, emergency stop, emergency hydraulic overrides, and then information regarding the use of those stabilizers. Just a quick information, red stop, your orange or yellow is your turn, and the very bottom is your backup, and you also have a side style marker light. Generalized view here of the side of your apparatus with that ladder in its stowed position, which will also alarm if it is down. Generalized view here once again of the rear of the apparatus. You can see your large diameter intake at the very bottom with the American flag on and Pierce logo. This is going to be the opposite side or passenger side with that ladder in the open position. Once again, you'll get an alarm if that is open on your dash. Generalized view of the side of your apparatus. Let's talk a little bit about some of the components here, starting in the lower section. This is going to be just to the rear of the rear tire. This is the storage location for your wheel chocks. Let's go ahead and move now to just in front of that storage location to this roll-up compartment door. Once that door is accessed, you can see that you have storage on the very bottom. This is a pull-out style tray, and then 2 additional storage shelves in the upper location, which are adjustable. This does have a 500-pound maximum weight capacity. This is now on the right-hand side. You'll find this depression, which is a lever to allow you to unlock that rollout shelf to allow it to roll in the outward position. Just on the side, you can see on the very far right, there is your fall hazard in addition with warning labels. In this compartment, you'll also find a 500-pound weight capacity. This is the lever to allow you to access that rollout shelf. Moving back over to the side, this is the area near the rear tire. You have some compartments here and some warning lights. Let's first start with the 2 compartments. This is SCBA or bottle storage locations here in these compartments. Moving just forward of this location directly over the center of the rear wheel, you'll find an emergency side-facing light. Moving just forward of this location or forward to the apparatus, you'll find an additional bottle storage location here. Let's go ahead and move just forward of this location. Once again, some information here regarding danger and warning regarding the use of your aerial and electrical hazards. And at the very bottom, you'll find a marker light, and just beneath that, you'll find your exhaust, and there is a warning label regarding that exhaust and the temperatures associated with that and flammable contents parking next to it. Let's move now to this compartment, same compartment as it is on the opposite side of the vehicle. When this compartment door is open, the contents within inside are slightly different. You have two open style shelves that are mounting brackets. There is a a release just inside on the hinge side to release those to restore them back to their normal positions. That's located here in this image. As you can see, you have tool storage mounting on the front and also on the back side. This is that switch, or I should say that lever, which allows you to restore it to its original position or stored position. Simply lift that latch, allows it to move. Once again, just as you do on the opposite side, you have a side-facing floodlight. This is once again going to be that camera on the passenger side, light indicating the location of your outrigger. Let's move now to the next compartment forward. Once again, roll-up style door here. When that compartment is open, you can see in the very bottom area, open shelf compartment, and also a storage location with an adjustable shelf, which is currently in a fixed position. This is that warning label regarding extreme temperatures from your exhaust. As we move to the forward location, this is going to be that platform for your outriggers. Generalized view here, you can see you have 3 steps to gain access to the upper section of your apparatus. We'll now move to the center section or midsection of your apparatus. We'll talk about some of the components here. Large diameter discharge, 2.5-inch discharge, and also your large diameter intake. There is also a step mounted low on the lower hand side. You can see that folds down. As we look inside to the tubbed area here for hose storage for your large diameter intake. Moving up onto the very top, you'll find a cord reel. This is going to be an electrical cord reel. As we look on the side, you can see once again crosslay 1, 2, and 3. Same configuration as the opposite side of the vehicle. Down to the lower section, once again, large diameter intakes and also discharges. We also have some controls here. Let's talk about those next. This is going to be your cab lift when the instructions here on the upper right-hand side. This is also going to be your passenger side scene lights, your reel rewind, and also a air horn switch. Looking also warning labels regarding the looking inside of discharges, and also those caps could be under pressure. When you access this compartment door, you'll find 2 drain locations here. These are your foam drain for foam A and foam B. Also located on the pump panel itself at the very bottom, you have additional drains in this location for all of your discharges. Generalized view here of the side cab of the apparatus. Let's break down some of the components here. Let's start on the upper left-hand side. At the very top, you have a side-facing flood, just as you did on the opposite side, and also your visual indicator for tank water. You also have an emergency warning light, and on the very far right-hand side, I've got a little bit closer image of that. You're going to have your bullet-style side-facing camera. This is activated when you turn on your right turn. It's also on the display of your screen. Once again, all entry points have perimeter lighting or step lighting. Generalized view here of the rear section of your apparatus. This is from the passenger side looking in at the AC unit at the very top. Also a side shot here of your SCBA seats. These are those rear facing seats. Generalized view here, same configuration as the opposite side. This is a full down step. The electrical cord here indicates the indication of someone or pressurized of someone in the seat. Looking down a little bit out of focus here, this is going to be on the same level as the other side. This is your box light, floodlight here. There's also in the step well an additional flashlight here that has a charger. Moving to the side of the apparatus, once again, all entry points have that warning label regarding the use of seat belts, and in the two rear compartments, you'll find that red grab handle to assist you getting in the cab. Front area here, this is going to be, once again, perimeter lighting and also step well lighting for your safety. As we look into the cab of this, you can see that you have those warning labels. In addition, with this vehicle is equipped with an SRS, which is a supplemental restraint system for the passenger side. As we look forward about knee height in the front of the passenger seat, this is the fill for your windshield wiper, and you'll also find those candy cane style warnings regarding panels that have electrical outlets behind them or fuses. Generalized view here overhead of the passenger seat. Let's talk about some of the components. Once again, there is that label candy cane style regarding that there's wires or attachment points behind, but in the upper right you have your on-off for your map reading light. Moving toward the center of the apparatus on the cowling here, you'll find a push button for your air horn. You also have a 12 volt access here, which is a USB style 12 volt. Let's go ahead and look overhead. You can see there are two plates here that are blanks. Those are for additional components. And to the very far right, this is going to be that go light controlled at the top of your apparatus. This is that spotlight, the on-off switch with an indicator, and also the ability to make adjustments and direct that light. Overhead, you have, once again, that red light in the very center. That's going to be a light, once again, for open compartment doors. These pictures here indicating your sun visors. Let's go ahead and now take a look at some of the aerial components. First, let's start at the pedestal. On the left, you'll find the arrow indicating an audible warning. You'll also find on the right-hand side, these are going to be some indicator and warnings regarding the use of that aerial device and fall and electrical issues. Moving back onto the pedestal, you'll find at the very top, this is going to be an audible speaker. Just beneath that, you'll find your ACT, your also controls for that. Moving further down, you'll find a red mushroom. This is a emergency stop. As we move further to the right-hand side, you're going to find that this is your Pierce Command Center. Once again, a tremendous amount of information here at your fingertips. Go through that and scroll through and discover that information. On the left-hand side, you're going to find all of your ladder capabilities and weights and water flow, and also some danger and warning labels. Please seek the owner's manual prior to use. Just on the right, you'll find your nozzle control. Moving further to the right, you'll find your three levers here for ladder control. Moving all the way to the far right on the ladder itself, this is going to be an inclinometer regarding the degrees of the angle of your ladder when it's in the elevated positions. Generalized view here from the rear facing forward, you'll find on the right and left, you'll find LED forward facing lights. As we move to the center, you'll find your 4-section fly here, easily and identifiable with all of the different colors regarding the fly sections. You also have on the left-hand side a straight ladder or roof ladder. Let's move back over to the opposite side here of your ladder. You're going to find you have on the main bed an additional storage location here. When that compartment's open, you'll also find warning information regarding load capacities. Please familiarize yourself with that through the owner's manual. As we move further to the front on the cab itself, this is not on the ladder. This is your go light. There's one on the right and left-hand side controlled from within inside the cab. These are going to be the fold down steps for the person sitting on the tip when it is fully extended for comfort. Also located here, this is that device I talked a little bit about pinning your waterway. Seek the owner's manual for this and do not do this when the ladder is elevated. On the right, you'll find your nozzle controls. Further to the right, you'll find your speaker regarding communications, and just down from that, an electrical outlet. This is that lever to allow you to pin that waterway further back than at the tip. Once again, seek your owner's manual prior to use. Let's go ahead and take just some generalized view here of the side of the apparatus with the controls in your master stream. Let's go all the way to the opposite end of the ladder at the very step location. This is going to be a step to access on top of the ladder. It's also a storage location. You can store a variety of different items here at your discretion. Congratulations, Tucson, Arizona, on your new piece of equipment. Job number 31074. If you have any questions regarding this video or the content within, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Congratulations on your new apparatus. Thank you.